Okay, here is a slow surf recovery flow. Hope you like it. Start in hands and knees and press back to a child's pose. If your shoulders are feeling tight, you can bend the elbows. That's typically my style. Start to settle into the rhythm of the breath. Feel your forehead on the mat. Breath right between the shoulders, behind the heart. Might feel good to come up onto the fingertips of the hands. That'll open the front of the chest a little bit better. And stay connected to your breath. Feel the base of your tail pressing down towards your ankles, elongating the spine, steadily breathing in and out. And then bend the elbows, draw the hands together, and bring them to the nape of the neck. You might even crawl your elbows forward slightly, continuing to open the front of the chest. Ground into your hips, feel them drawing towards your ankles. Forehead rests heavy on the mat. Smooth breath in and out. Start to slide your hands down. Draw them underneath the shoulders, coming up to hands and knees. Neutral spine here. Inhale, extend the spine, lift the head, arcing into cow pose. Exhale, tuck the tail around the spine, drop the head. We'll take this really slowly, taking a breath at the top and bottom of each spinal extension and flexion. Inhale, tail lifts, heart lifts, spine extends, head looks forward. Big breath at the top. Exhale, drop the head, round the tail, round the spine. Hands root into the mat. Spine extend, tail arches, head draws up. And then round back down into cat pose, spine rounds. Walk the hands forward, tuck the toes, start to take some big circles of the hips and the shoulders. Finding some mobility across the body, moving fluidly. If it feels better to take semicircles or figure eights, that's totally fine. Move in a way that feels like yourself. Staying connected to the breath, switching directions. If you've been going in one direction, getting into the hips, getting into the shoulders. Good, even breath. Start to walk your hands back under the shoulders. Inhale, your right arm reaches up, neutral spine. Exhale, thread it through. Head drops down. Breathe into the back of that right shoulder. You might walk the fingertips of the left hand forward. Getting a little stretch across the left of the chest. Might even feel good to take that top arm and wrap it around the opposite side, resting your hand on the thigh, coming into a little half bind here. Hips stay generally level as you're breathing here. unwind yourself, coming back to a neutral spine. One rounded cat-cow between sides. Countering that stretch. Breathe your way to a neutral spine. Inhale, left arm reaches up, big stretch, thread it through across to the right side. Left cheek touches down. Maybe walking the hands forward on the right side, getting that stretch across the right side body, right chest. Feeling good, you can wrap around the left side, snuggling that hand into the left thigh, coming into a little half bind here. Gaining a stretch in the back of the left shoulder as well as the front of the right chest. Breathe right between the shoulders, behind the heart. Unwind. One rinse a cat-cow. Start to walk the hands forward, tuck the toes, lift the knees, take a downward facing dog and pedal the legs, one and then the other. Marching out the knees, wiggling into the hips, hands are rooted, head's heavy. Start to take a bounce of the knees, loosening the tailbone, loosening the neck. And then press your way back into a downward facing dog in stillness. Breathe here. Minor wrapping in of the forearms, minor wrapping in of the triceps. Gives you a little more space for the shoulders and the head. Stay here and breathe as you start to walk the feet forward to hands, forward fold. Knees can be bent here. Inhale, lift halfway, straighten through the spine. Exhale, drop down into a forward fold, bending the knees as much as feels good, taking some spinal waves. Inhale, lifts you up halfway. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale, lift the spine. Exhale to fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to wrap the forearms around the calves. Start to shake the head heavy, compressing your body to thighs here. Grab opposite elbows, rock side to side. You can take a little bounce, shaking the head, releasing tension in the neck, or you can remain in stillness. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward, hands under shoulders, feet come back, high plank here, core is strong. Start to lower all the way down to the mat, elbows hugging in. Untuck the toes, hands at shoulders, inhale, chest up to a low cobra. Slide your elbows under your shoulders, coming to sphinx pose. Heart faces forward and then head drops down. Palms flat on the mat, toes untucked. Glutes are engaged here. Breathe behind the heart. Inhale, lift the head, feel the heart shift forward ever so slightly. And then drop the head back down. Keep rooting your forearms into the mat. Press your way up high plank and back to a downward facing dog. Grab opposite hand to opposite leg. You can bend the knee as much as you need to, looking under the armpit. Unwind. Opposite arm, opposite leg, look under the armpit. Make your way back to downward facing dog. Head is heavy, hands are rooted. Start to walk the feet forward to the hands, forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Walk the feet back. Lower all the way down to the mat. Slowly hugging your elbows in. Untuck the toes. Take your right hand out at a 90-degree angle. Take the left hand, tent the fingertips, roll over onto your right as your left leg comes up and around. Breathing into the right pectoral muscles. If you're not feeling a stretch, you can shift your right elbow a little closer towards the head. That can deepen the stretch here. Start to unwind yourself. Cactus the left elbow, place it down. Right arm reaches, tent the fingertips, roll over onto your left. Right leg lifts. Fingertips come up, start to take some twists, one shoulder and then the other. Exhaling as you twist, inhaling to center. Rinsing out the shoulders here. Bring your hands back beside you. Clasp them at the base of the spine. Inhale, lift up into locust, chest comes forward, neck is neutral, legs lift. Breathing here, engaging the whole back body. Keep your chest lifted. Release the clasp of the hands, extend your arms alongside the ears. Keep staying here in strength and in breath. And then start to press your way back to hands and knees, taking some circles of the hips and shoulders, releasing the low back. Switch directions. Breathe to downward facing dog. Lift your right hip, stack the hip, bend the knees, start to take some big circles of that right leg. Keeping the knee bent. Square the hips, bring your right leg forward between the hands for a low lunge and a twist to the right. Top arm is big and circling. Place your hand on the inside of your right foot. Heel toe the right foot out to the side. Take your right hand to the hip crease and twist to the right, starting to glide forward and backward on your back foot. Opening into the hips. Coming back to center. Breathe your way to three-legged dog. And then back to down dog. Switching side. Left leg lifts, knee bend, hip stacks. Big circles of that top leg. Coming forward, hips squaring. Foot comes forward for a low lunge, big twist to the left, big circles of that top arm. Top arm comes to the inside of your left leg, left foot heel toes out, taking a wide stance, hand to hip crease twist to the left, gliding forward and backwards on that back foot, breathing into the hips. back to center. Step your back foot forward, coming into a squat here. Grounding through the feet, lifting through the chest. You can stay lifted and breathing here, or you can drop the head down. Thumbs meet the third eye between the eyebrows. Head rests on the thumbs. Make your way onto your seat. And then lift the knees, lift the legs, open the hands wide, coming into boat for a brief core engagement here. You can stay here, or you can grab the ankles or the heels, stretching the legs out long, getting into the backs of the legs. A little stretch of the hamstrings, a little balancing. Breathing your way back to boat, and then legs meet the earth, fold forward. Knees can bend here. That'll help you get into the full back line rather than concentrating the stretch in the backs of the legs, and instead breathing into the back body in its entirety. Start to lift back up. Place your hands back behind you, underneath the shoulders. Lift the hips, lift the legs, lift the chest, feet face down. Breathe into the front of the chest here. Full extension, hands rooted into the mat, and then make your way back down onto your seat and onto your back, bringing the knees to the chest, hug the knees, rock side to side. Take a twist over to the right, opposite hand across into a little T shape. And if your low back feels tight like mine, you can place a fist between your knees. That takes a little pressure off the low back. Head turns away from knees, breathing across the diagonal of the body. Side to side, releasing the low back. And as you're ready, start to take a twist on the opposite side. Again, your hand can be placed between your knees to release the low back. As you turn your head away from your knees, extending your opposite arm in a T shape. Back to center, grabbing the fronts of the knees, rock side to side, release the low back. Ground your feet, bend your knees, and start to lift the hips, bringing your shoulders together, clasping them onto the mat, coming into bridge pose. Glutes are engaged here, neck is neutral. Feet press firmly into the mat. Apart, lower your back down onto the mat. Soles of the feet come together, knees fall apart, opposite elbow overhead. Opening the chest, opening the shoulders, softening the hips. evening out between sides. Start to draw your knees back together. Extend the legs long. Extend your hands out in a T-shape, palm face up. Or you can draw your hands down by your sides, palms facing up. Whatever feels best for you and your shoulders. Laying here in final rest. Feel the back body heavy on the earth beneath you. Bones are heavy. Base is relaxed. Start to re-bend the knees, roll onto one side, curl in on yourself, head rests on bicep. Taking one last pause here. And then start to press your way up to a comfortable seat. Palms reach up and overhead, hands touch at the top, and then bring them down to heart center to close your practice. Restoring the body. Hope you have a great rest of your day.